Welcome back, students. This video is for class 7 chapter number 13, time and motion. In earlier lectures we have seen measuring time, a short history, after that accurate measurement of time, simple pendulum. Then we saw the speed, calculation of speed, some examples of that. Then we went through speedometers and odometers. Later we saw plotting a distance time graph. Okay, in that we have seen that when the time interval is constant, means after 5 minutes the time is changing. Similarly, distance is also changing by 3 kilometers. So due to this constant changes, the graph is a constant graph, or it is a straight line. It is a straight line. Okay, so as the time, we have plotted time on x-axis and distance on y-axis. So due to which as the time and speed are time and distance are changing by equal amount, that is it is changing by 5 minutes and this is changing by 3 kilometers. So the graph is a straight line, and when we have a straight line graph we call it as uniform motion. We call it as uniform motion. Now uniform motion means, in which motion means the speed or the motion of the body. So when it is constant, we call it as uniform motion. So today we will see the next graph. In next graph, the information which is provided to us is this, that is table number 13.3. okay, so table number 13.3. in this we can see that the timing is 10:30, then 10:35, 10:40, 45, 10:50, 10:55 and 11 o'clock. Means the time is changing constantly, right? After 5 minutes we have taken the reading after 5 minutes, means at 10:30, then 10:35, then 10:40, 45, 50, 55 and 11 o'clock. So the time is changing constantly. Now let's let's go towards odometer reading. In this, the initial odometer reading is 5048. The initial odometer reading is 5048. After 5 minutes, that at 10:35, the odometer reading was 5049. It was 5049. Means how much it has by how much it has raised? It has raised by 1 kilometer, right? Initially it was 48, now it became 49, means it is 1 kilometer. Next, after 5 minutes, that after 10:35 it comes 10:40. So at 10:40 am the reading was 5050. The reading was 5050. It was 549 earlier, now it is 5050. Means again it has raised by 1 kilometer. So the difference is 1 kilometer. Next, at 10:45, means again after 5 minutes, it was 550, now it is 552, 5052, right? It is 5052. Now the difference is, initially it was 5050 and now it is 5052. So the difference is 2 kilometers, right? Here we can see that initially the difference was 1 kilometer, now it is 2 kilometer. Now the speed has raised. Now after that, again after 5 minutes, that at 10:50 am the speed was 5052. Means what? Odometer reading was 5052, not speed, the odometer reading. Okay, so the distance covered was 5052 only, means it is 0 kilometer. Means what? Till 10:45 to 10:50 the vehicle or the scooter was not in motion, it was parked somewhere, right? Because it has not traveled any distance, hence it was parked somewhere, that is it was not in motion. So the reading remains constant, it is 5052, and after 5 minutes also it was 5052. So the difference will be 0, right? 5052 and 5052, so difference is 0. Next, after again 5 minutes, the distance the odometer reading was 5054. At 10:55 am the odometer reading was 5054. Now initially it was 5052, now it is 5054, means the distance travel will be, the difference will be 2 kilometers. So this is 2 kilometer. Now at 11 a.m. the 5054 became 5057. Now the difference is 3 kilometer. Have you understood the table? In this, the time is changing after 5 minutes, but the odometer reading is changing differently. 0 1 1 2 0 2 2 3. Okay, so the kilometer is varying here. Now to plot the graph of such changing readings, what we will do, we will plot. Again the axis will remain same, that is distance and time. So distance is, this is y-axis, this is y-axis, and this is x-axis. So this is x-axis is time and y-axis is distance. Now we can see that at 5, first we will go for 0. Okay, for 0 here, for 0 means at rest, for 0 the time was 10:30 and distance was 5048. So time was 10:30. 10:30 means 0 and that speed was 5048. One second, distance, yeah, distance is 0 and time is 0. Okay, so we will plot graph for, wait a minute, let's write the table here first, so that it will be easy for us to draw the graph. So initially we will plot for time and distance. So time is 10:30. At 10:30 the distance traveled was 0. At 10:35 it was 1 kilometer. At 40 it is 1 kilometer, right? At 40 it is 1 kilometer. At 45 it is 2 kilometer. Next at 50 it was 0. At 55 it is 2 kilometer, and at again 11 it is 3 kilometers, right? 0 1 1 2 0 2 3. Okay, so here we have drawn the table, that is time at 10:30, the distance 0. So we will plot the graph for this. Okay, now yeah, this is the graph. Okay, now we have written the same, we have copied the same table here, in which we have written for distance, this is for time, this is time, this is distance. Now to plot a graph of time and distance, now the straight line, we have seen the straight line graph, this is for uniform motion, that is constant motion. Now as you can see that the distance readings are changing, right? They are not constant throughout. Earlier it was 3 kilometer throughout the table, but here it is 1 1, then 2 2 and 3, and in somewhere it is 0 also. Means what? The readings are not constant, hence this is called as, when the motion is not constant, when the motion is not constant, it is called as non-uniform motion. It is called as non-uniform motion. When the motion is not constant, it is called as non-uniform motion. Okay, so when we plot a graph, okay, for this, now let's take time. For that, first we will plot this x-axis, y-axis, this is time, and for on y-axis it is distance. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is time and this is distance. Now time interval we are having 0 or 30, then 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 and 11 or 60. Okay, so we will plot like this. For 0, our coordinate origin is 0, so this is 0. After this 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 and 60 or 11. On y-axis it is 0 1 2, first it is 0 1, then it is 2, and maximum is 3. So we can plot like this: 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer and 3 kilometer, right? Because our maximum is 3 kilometer, but just there is a space, so I have written 4 kilometer and 5 kilometer. So we only needed is 0 to 3 kilometer, 0 1 2 3, because we are having coordinates at 0 1 2 and 3. Okay, so we will plot 0 1 2 3. Now at 0 initially at 0, time is also 0, right? And or we can say that at time 0, distance is 0. So this is our first point. Next, at 35, that is at 35 it is 1 kilometer. So at 35 the corresponding one is here. Okay, so corresponding one is here. So 35, 1. Next comes 40. Okay, at 40 it is 1 kilometer. At 40 it is 1 kilometer. So at 40 we will again it is 1 kilometer. It is in the same line. So this 40 and 1. Next is 45 and 2 kilometers. So at 45 this is 2. So this is here. This point will be here at 45 and 2. Next at 50 it is 0. So 0 means this one. So at 50 this is 0. At 55 it is 2 kilometer. At 55 it is 2 kilometers. So at 55 let's go towards 2 kilometers. So this 2 kilometer and 50 corresponds here. So this point. Last is 11 and 3. So 11 and 3. So 3 kilometer and this is 11. So this point. Now you can see that the points are not in a straight line like the earlier one. In earlier one the points were like this. They were in a straight line. So we joined it through the origin. We passed a line through passing through the origin. Now what we will do here, we will just pass a line from here, from 0 to first point, second point, third point, fourth point again down, then again fifth point and sixth point. So we have just joined them. Now you can see that the graph don't have any shape or any specific, what we can say, it is irregular. This graph is not regular, it is a irregular graph, hence it represents non-uniform motion. Hence it represents non-uniform motion. Now okay, so with this your chapter ends here. Now have you understood what is the difference between uniform and non-uniform motion? In your textbook the graph of non-uniform motion is wrong. Okay, they have printing mistake. The correct graph for your non-uniform motion is like this. So please draw this in your book somewhere or keep it with you, because that graph is wrong. Why? You can see that at 0 it is 0, okay, but at 5 they have taken 1, means at 5 they have taken 1, right? Okay, fine. At 10 what they have taken, 10 means 40, they have taken, it is 1 kilometer. At 40 the according to table it is 1 kilometer, but they have taken at 40 they have taken 2 kilometers. So this is wrong. Next point is at 45 it is 2 kilometers, they have taken. At 15 they have taken 4 kilometers. This is wrong. We don't have any reading for 4 and 6 kilometers, right? We don't have reading for 4 and 6 kilometers. So the graph over here is wrong. Okay, that's why the correct graph is this one. So copy it somewhere in your book. Okay, now let's go to fill-ups. In fill-ups I'll write the answers here. First fill-up. Okay, first fill-up. Dash is the distance moved by a body in unit time. Our formula was dash is the distance moved by a body in unit time is speed, because the formulas for speed is distance per unit time. Distance per unit time is speed. So this is speed. Second one, the dash shows the speed of a vehicle at a given point in time. Again we have 2 meter, speedometer and odometer, whereas speedometer shows the speed and odometer shows the distance. So what is required? Dash shows the speed of a vehicle, means speedometer. So speedometer. So the answer is speedometer. Third one, the SI unit of speed is, again for speed it is, you can see here, speed is distance upon time, and distance the SI unit of distance is meter and time is second. So this SI unit of speed will become meter per second. Next, the distance time graph for a uniform motion is a dash line passing through the origin. See here, this is for uniform motion, so it is a straight line passing through the origin. So the answer is, the distance time graph for uniform motion is a straight line. It is a straight line. Next is, in dash motion the speed of an object is not constant. In dash motion the speed of an object is not constant. Here the graph is, here the speed is not constant. So this is which motion? This is non-uniform motion. So the answer is non-uniform motion. So in non-uniform motion the speed of an object is not constant. Okay. Now let's go towards the next multiple choice question or MCQ. In MCQ you have to choose the answer. Okay, so first is, which of the following can tell the time of the day by itself? Now we have options like sand clock. In sand clock you can't see the time, right? It will give you a specific interval, means yeah, you can say that if you try to fill a bucket under water, you can say that yeah, from when the sand from upper flask to when the sand comes from upper flask to lower flask, the water get filled up. Means you can just give a time, what we can say, just you can just denote some time interval, but you cannot tell the accurate time, okay, using sand clock. So sand clock is not the answer. Next is candle clock. Again same, candle clock can give you the interval but not the time. Similarly for water clock, so our answer is sundial, because using the sun we can say that using the shadow, okay, using the shadow of that object from the sun, you can see that yeah, it's so much and so time. So this is sundial. So our answer is C, sundial. Okay, on which factor does the time period of a simple pendulum depend? Mass of bob, length of pendulum, extent of swing and volume of bob. It depends upon length of pendulum. We have seen in our chapter. So it is length of pendulum. Next it is, the most accurate of all clocks is the quartz crystal clock, atomic clock, pendulum clock and balance wheel clock. In this the modern one is atomic clock. Okay, so this is the atomic clock. It is the most accurate one. So answer is B, atomic clock. Which of this is not a unit of time? Now option is second, hour, day, light year. Now second is the unit of SI unit of time. Next hour, again it is also unit of time. Day, yeah, you can say that this much time means day is also a unit. Okay, so which of this is not a unit of time? Second, hour, day, light year. Now in this second, it is a SI unit of time. Hour is also unit of time. Next, day, we can calculate or consider days with respect to time, because if you are absent for 2 days in school, the teacher asks you, yeah, how many days you are absent. So you say 2 days, means what? Somewhere or the other you are representing time in terms of day. So it is day. Next, light year. Light year, again light year is not a time, because in spite of that year is there, but it represents distance, right? Distance between astronomical bodies, means the time taken by light to travel from one planet to another, right? A ray of light. So that is the, but it is light year, so it is distance. We say that this so and so planet is this much light year away from us. We use this light year term to represent the distance, not the time. So the answer is light year. Which of this is the SI unit of time? As I said, second is the SI unit of time. So answer is second. Next question. The period of oscillation of a simple pendulum which takes 38 seconds for 20 oscillations is. Now period means time taken by pendulum to complete one oscillation, right? To complete one oscillation. One oscillation means starting from A, going to B, again coming back to A. So this is one oscillation. So this is one oscillation. So this one oscillation is called as period of oscillation of that pendulum. Now what they told, they have given period of oscillation in, that is a pendulum takes 38 seconds for 20 oscillations, right? So to calculate period means we have to calculate one oscillation. Okay, so we should have to calculate one oscillation. So in 38 seconds it completes 20 oscillations. So what we will do, 20 divided by 38, right? Means what, in 20, okay, in 38 seconds it completes how many, 20 oscillations, right? 20 oscillations. So in for one oscillation, how much time is required for one oscillation? It is x. So what we will do, we will just divide 38 by 20. Okay, so we will just divide it, and what we will get, wait a minute. Yeah, we will just divide it. In 38 seconds we have 20 oscillations. So one oscillation will be division of that. So on dividing, what we get is 1.9 seconds, right? We will divide this 38 by 20, right? This was wrong. So in 38 seconds it completes 20 oscillations. So in 1 second it will complete, 1 second, in 38 seconds it completes 20 oscillations. So for one oscillation it takes how many seconds? So for that, 38 divided by 20. So on dividing we get 2 10s are 20, 2 1s are 2 9s are 18, right? 2 19s are 38 and 2 10s are 20. 10 1s are 10 and 10 1s are 10 and 1.9. So our answer is 1.9 seconds. So to complete one oscillation it requires 1.9 seconds. So here it is D, option D, 1.9 second. Next, which of this cannot be a unit of speed? Now speed is given by meter per second, right? SI unit of speed is meter per second. We have seen here it is meter per second. Speed is distance upon time, distance is meter and time is second, so meter per second. Now what we have to find which of this cannot be a unit, right? So cannot be a unit. So meter per second is a unit. Next, meter into, when we convert meter into kilometer, so it becomes kilometer, seconds becomes R. So kilometer per hour is also a unit of speed. Next, kilometer and minute, if we convert this to kilometer and if we convert this to minute, so it will become kilometer per minute. This is also valid. Now last is second per meter. We are already having meter per second, so second per meter is not possible, hence the answer is second per meter, option is D. Next question, 20 meter per second is equal to, now we have to convert this meter per second to kilometer per hour, that is 20 meters per second into kilometer per hour. Now in your chapter they have given the conversion, that meter per second into kilometer per hour. So if you want to convert something meter per second into kilometer per hour, you have to just multiply this 18 by 5 kilometer, and it comes from 1 meter is 1000 meter, 1 meter is 1000 kilometer, sorry 1000, no, 1 kilometer is 1000 meter, right? 1 kilometer is 1000 meter, so 1 divided by 1000 kilometer, and 1 second, 1 hour is 3600 seconds. So 1 divided by 60 into 60 is 3600. So we get 18 upon 5 kilometer per hour. So just we have to multiply this 18 upon 5 with this, what we have, with this meter per second. So when we multiply by 20 into 18 upon 5, okay, so what happens, 5 ones are 18 upon 5 na? Yeah, this is when we divide, when we just they have given 20 meter per second and we have to convert it into kilometers. So 20 into 18 upon 5. So what will happen, 5 ones are 5, 4s are 20 and 18 4s is 72. So 18 4s are 72 kilometer per r. We just have to multiply 18 upon 5 with the given term. So we are getting 72 km per hour. So our answer is 72 km per hour, option C. Next, the average speed of a car that covers distance of 150 km in 3 hours is. Now again, to calculate the average speed, okay, this is third, let it be third. Okay, so for average speed, the formula is, average speed is total distance, right? Total distance upon total time. Now what is how much is the total distance? Total distance is 150 kilometer and time is 3 hours. So 150 kilometers is the distance, this is kilometer, and time is 3 hours. If we divide this, 3 ones are 3 5s are 15 and this 0 come up, so it is 50 kilometer per hour. So average speed is 50 kilometer per hour. So this will be, answer is C, 50 kilometer per hour. Next is a car traveling from Chennai at an average speed of 60 km per hour reaches Bangalore in 5.5 hours. The distance between the two cities is. Now in this, what is given? Average speed means speed is given, that is 60 km per hour. Next, time is given, right? It takes 5.5 hours, so it is time. So time is 5.5 hour. Now what we have to calculate? The distance between the cities, so we have to calculate d. Now again our formula is S is d by t. Now to calculate d, right, we have to calculate d. What we will do, we will take this t here, so it will become S into t is equal to d. So our formula will become S into t is equal to d. Now what is S? 60, and what is t? It is 5.5. we have to calculate d. Now on multiplying this, what we will get? 6 5s are 30, right? 6 5s are 30, again 33, so and 1 point, so 1 decimal. So this is 330 kilometer will be the distance. This is 330 kilometers. So answer is 330 kilometer. Understood? So what we have done, S is 60 kilometer per hour, T is 5.5, S is 60 kilometer, T is 5.5, and we have to calculate the distance which we have just substituted in the formula. S is d by t. So t, we took t here because we have to calculate d. So S into t is d. So 60 into 5.5 is d, and this is 330 kilometer. Next is fill in the blanks. So these are normal fill-ups. You just have to answer it using the theory. The fact that the time period of a pendulum remains the same is used in a pendulum clock. In which clock? It is used in the pendulum clock, right? This is the pendulum clock. This is pendulum clock. So using this pendulum theory is used in this pendulum clock. Next, before crystals were used, the balance wheel was used to measure the time in watches. Balance wheel, the answer is balance wheel. Okay, I'll write the answers here. First is pendulum. First is pendulum clock. Second answer is balance wheel. Okay, balance wheel. Okay, now here we have taken, this is pendulum clock and this is balance wheel. Before crystal, balance wheel was used. Next, in a modern wristwatch, the time is measured by the vibration of a quartz crystal, right? Which crystal? Quartz crystal. We have seen it in the theory. Next, the SI unit of speed is, SI unit of speed, you should know this now. The SI unit of speed is meter per second. SI unit of speed is meter per second. Next one is the distance traveled by an object divided by the time taken for travel give us the speed of the object. Now distance travel divided by time, right? Distance travel divided by time, it gives speed. It gives speed. Speed is distance upon time. Next, when the dash of a body moving in a straight line is constant, it is uniform motion. For uniform motion, what should be constant? Again, speed. Again, the answer is speed. For 6 fill up also the answer is speed. Speed should be constant. A distance time graph has time as the dash and distance as the dash. In that graph what we took, time as x-axis, first dash is x-axis and second dash is y-axis. Next, okay, the fill-ups are over. Now, okay, clear with the answer. First is pendulum, second is balance wheel, third is quartz, next is meter per second, speed, x-axis and y-axis. Now last is we will just go through the true or false and then we will stop here. Okay, so first, a sand clock can tell the time of the day. A sand clock can tell the time of the day. Is it true or false? It is false. It can give you just the, again it will just represent some specific interval of time, but it won't give us accurate time, so it is false. The time period of a pendulum remaining constant even if the length is changed. As the length changes, the time period also changes, so this is also false. Speed is distance multiplied by time. This is wrong. It is distance divided by time, so again false. An odometer measures speed. As I said, speedometer measures the speed and odometer measures the distance, so this is also false. 72 kilometers is 20 meter per second. Here we have seen that 20 meter per second is 72 kilometer per hour. It is kilometer per hour, but here it is, they are saying kilometer per second, hence it is false. This should be hour. If it is hour, then it is true. Now this is second, hence it is false. If part of a distance time graph is parallel to the time axis, the body is in uniform motion for that period of time. False. For uniform motion, the line should be a straight line. It is not parallel, right? It is not parallel to the graph. It is a straight line, and this is false.